Are you planning a trip to Rome, Italy in April? Wondering what to wear, what the weather is like, and what's happening in the Eternal City this month? Well, you've come to the right place.
April is one of the best months to visit Rome. The weather is great, flowers and cherry blossom are in full bloom, and there are some amazing events happening around the city. But there are also a few things you should know before packing your bag to come to Rome in April.
Definitely right. So, in today's video, we're going to be talking about what to wear in Rome in April, the typical weather that you can expect, and the top events happening in Rome this month. All right, let's get started. Hi, everyone. I'm Rick.
And I'm Andrea, and we live in Italy and we travel around the country all the time. For this reason, we like to share our knowledge about traveling in Italy with you so you can have the best time in Italy ever.
Absolutely.
So let's begin our video about visiting Rome in April by talking about the weather. The weather in Rome in April can be quite nice. Temperatures during the day are vary between 16 degrees Celsius or 60 Fahrenheit at the beginning of the month, and they can go as high as 21 Celsius or 69 Fahrenheit at the end of April. At night they range between 8 Celsius or 48 Fahrenheit at the beginning of the month and 12 Celsius or 53 Fahrenheit at the end of April. For this reason, April can be an excellent month to visit Rome because it is not as hot as it will be between June and September. April can also be quite rainy, with an average of 7 days of rain during the month, so we will need to be prepared for occasional rain. Finally, in April, days are getting longer. In fact, at the beginning of the month, the sun sets at 7:30 p.m., while at the end of April, it sets around 8 p.m., making an ideal month for sightseeing.
And other things, which we'll talk about a little later on.
Absolutely. While April is generally warm during the day, mornings and evenings can be still chilly, especially if there is a breeze. And if it rains, it can be feel cooler. So it's always a good idea to layer your clothes.
Okay, so great advice. Let's move on to our next tip about visiting Rome in April, and we'll talk about how busy Rome is in April. As a general rule, Rome is always busy. However, April is not as busy as it would be maybe in June, July, August, or September. Also, because in April there are some major holidays, you might expect a bit of tourists, a little bit more than usual in the city.
More about that later.
Yes, of course. For this reason, I think it's imperative for you to plan your visit in advance, and most importantly, book all of the most important attractions that you want to see in advance. This is particularly important for the Colosseum, the Forum, the Pantheon, and the Vatican museums for the Sistine Chapel. In particular, for the Colosseum and the Vatican museums, you should definitely buy skip the line tickets to avoid the crazy long lines at the entrance. And you can scan this QR code or check the link in the description for tickets.
Absolutely.
Now, one very important thing to remember is that some museums and attractions, including the Colosseum, will be open for free the first Sunday of April. Well, this is really nice because it's going to save you a lot of money. And it also means that the attraction is going to be packed with people. So, if you're planning on taking advantage of the free admission, here's some tips for you. First, check online that the monument or the museum that you wish to visit is part of one of those that offers free admissions on the first Sunday. Second, make sure to go very early in the morning, at least half an hour before, to avoid, lots of crowds, as much as possible. And third, if you're planning on visiting more than one free museum, visit the most popular one, like the Colosseum, first, early in the morning, and then leaves the less popular or your second or third picks for later in the afternoon. There's also plenty of places that you can explore in Rome in April that won't be too busy with tourists. For example, you can visit the Giardino degli Aranci, which is the Orange Garden on the Aventine Hill. And you can admire a stunning view of the city in a quiet and calm environment in the garden. In April, all of the parks in Rome will be beautiful with all the blooming trees and the flowers. Totally worth seeing.
Absolutely. Next up, we'll talk about what to eat in Rome.
Oh, I can talk about that too.
April is still artichoke season, and if you visit Rome in April, you should definitely try them. There are two main dishes made of artichokes, and we strongly suggest you to try them both. The first one is the Jewish style artichoke, also called Carciofi alla Judea in Italian. This dish is found mostly around the Jewish ghetto area, and trust us, it's delicious. It sounds very simple. In fact, it's just a deep fried artichoke that is actually fried twice. But believe us, it's amazing.
Mhm.
The second dish is the Carciofi alla Romana, or the Roman style artichoke. This is an artichoke with some garlic, braised until very tender in white wine, and it's a must try when in Rome in April. Also, since the temperature will likely to be warmer, you will be able to eat outside, at least for lunch or even for the aperitivo around
Mm,
7 o'clock.
At least on most days,
Yeah.
right?
You can enjoy an Aperol Spritz or a glass of wine sitting outside admiring the sightseeing. It's quite stunning. If you don't have much time or you're a foodie, you can totally take a food tour of Rome. There's a lot of them, and you can scan this QR code for more information.
Or check the link in the description.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now that we know what to eat, and believe me, there is a lot to eat, let's talk about what to wear when visiting Rome in April. As we mentioned previously, it's better to wear layers. You see, like a sweater,
Yep.
a shirt, a t shirt when visiting Rome in April. In fact, when you start visiting and exploring the city in the morning, it'll probably still be a little chilly. So, a light jacket or a sweater will be necessary. Now, around lunch and in the afternoon, if the sun is out, you'll be able to remove your sweater or your jacket, and just a polo or a shirt will be okay. In April, especially at the beginning of the month, it's probably still a little too chilly to wear shorts, so we might suggest light pants, jeans, or a skirt. In April, it can also be rainy, so don't forget to pack a raincoat and a small traveling umbrella. Rome is also a city where you're going to be walking a lot, so bring sneakers or comfortable, well broken in walking shoes. Don't wear brand new shoes,
No,
right?
absolutely.
And sandals, flip flops, and those not recommended because most of the streets are going to be uneven and you'll risk falling and hurting yourself, which would not be a good idea.
No.
Also, don't forget to bring your sunglasses and perhaps even a small backpack. And last, if you do plan on visiting the churches, like we've said before, like St. Peter's or the Pantheon, remember that you're going to need to cover your shoulders and your knees. So pack something with you that fits that criteria. You might also want to bring a hat and some sunscreen because on sunny days, even in April, you can get burned. So you want to have some protection.
So let's move on to our next tip about visiting Rome in April, and we will talk about the holidays. In April, there are some major holidays in Italy that might impact your travel plans. The first and the most important one is Easter. Easter Sunday varies every year, but usually it's in April and is always on a Sunday. That's why it's
That's why.
called Easter Sunday. In Rome, Easter celebrations start on Thursday before Easter Sunday, with the washing of the feet in St. Peter's Basilica. If you want to see this ritual performed, usually by the Pope, you will need to book in advance and make a reservation because the seats are very limited. It's a free event, but you have to apply for the tickets, and we'll leave a link in the description below on how to apply and how soon you have to apply. On Friday, or well, Good Friday, there's the Via Crucis, or the Way of the Cross, ceremony at the Colosseum at night. This is a series of images depicting Jesus Christ on the day of his crucifixion. It's accompanied by prayers, and people stop at each station to start, say prayers, and reflect On Easter Sunday, a lot of stores are closed and some museums might be closed as well, so check the link of the museum. For example, the Vatican museums are usually closed on Sunday, but during Easter, the Easter holiday, they are also closed on Monday, so keep this in mind if you're going to visit Rome during Easter week. However, Easter also offers the opportunity to see some very interesting religious ceremony at the Vatican and around the city, like Papal Mass at St. Peter.
The papal mass or the papal
It's
mass?
Papal Mass.
Okay.
Another important Italian holiday is April 25th, that celebrates the liberation of Italy from the Nazi after World War II. On April 25th, there are some celebration at the altar of the Fatherlands, or the big white typewriter in the middle of Rome, that are worth watching, but also might cause a lot of traffic in the area. And so be quite ready for this problematic traffic and so
Yeah.
traveling around.
Maybe take the metro everywhere.
Exactly, or walk. Lastly, there is a very interesting event that happens in Rome on April 21st. According to the legend, Romulus founded Rome on April 24th, 753 BC.
That was a while ago.
Yep. For this reason, on April 21st, there are a lot of celebration in Rome for the birthday of the city. This birthday has been celebrated in Rome since Emperor Claudio in 47 AD, so a long time ago. The celebrations are mostly about the Colosseum, the Forum, and the Circus Maximus, where they have a reenactment of ancient Rome rituals and gladiator shows. Definitely worth watching if you are visiting Rome on that day.
Well, it sounds like that would be a little bit, a little different. Yeah, a little different. Exactly. Well, folks, this is what we've got for you today. We hope that you have learned something in this video. And if you did, why not subscribe or give us a like, because it'll help us make more videos like this one. And of course, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments below. We'll try to answer them as best as we can. Well, thank you so much for watching.
And we'll see you on our next video.
Ciao.